You say you're not just the first South African UFC middleweight champion, you're the first African champion.
Yes. Well, I mean, there's a lot of fighters with African heritage and champions that with African heritage, but I am the only fighter in the UFC, the only champion in the UFC, in the history of the UFC, that was born, raised, residing, and trained in Africa, and I still live here. And that is special. That is special.
Dricus Du Plessis delivered these comments after January's big win, and that didn't sit well with the other three African champions in the UFC, Francis Ngannou, Kamaru Usman, and Israel Adesanya. So you're just claiming it. The others might have African heritage, but they live in New Zealand or the US or elsewhere.
They weren't trained in Africa.
Right.
So, I mean, yes, of course they're African born, and I mean, great, and that's their heritage, and they always will be. But I'm the only one that resides here. My whole team is from here, and I still live here today. I live here every single day. I have only lived here, and I'm trained in Africa.
Do you want to bring a UFC fight to South Africa?
Absolutely, I would love that. First, you just bring it to Africa.
Yes.
But, you know, even sweeter, bring it to my home country, bring it to South Africa. And I think it will be massive. You know, we've had the Rugby World Cup, we've had the Soccer World Cup.
Right.
This will be, I'm just getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Did those belts ever go to Africa? As far as I know, it came to America and New Zealand. I'm going to take a belt to Africa. I'm the African fighter in the UFC. Myself and Cameron, we breathe the African air. We wake up in Africa every day. We train in Africa, we're African born, we're African raised. We still reside in Africa, we train out of Africa. That's an African champion, and that's who I'll be.
Question for Israel. Israel, obviously, you know, you were meant to fight Dricus in Sydney, and then we know how badly banged up your body was, and we saw your performance against Sean. Are you happy that actually you're fighting him now rather than fighting him then?
Yeah, definitely. I'm happy I took the time off I needed. I'm happy I, let my body heal, let my mind and spirit relax. And then now I'm clocking back into work, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I wanted to follow up on that. You know, you have done more media duties than nearly anyone in this business. You took some time off to come back here, get this reaction. Have you missed this? Have you missed being at the top?
I missed you guys. I won't lie. At first, I was a bit salty. You know how the streets is. But then this is what I do. I do this shit every time. And shout out to Tim for helping me chop out the fat. But yeah, the media stuff was cool. This is cool. And Sunday's going to be even cooler.
He says he's going to make it an ugly fight. Can you meet him in there and make it ugly and still come out the winner yourself?
I mean, Costa tried to make it ugly, but, they all try, but I can fight. I can get muddy with the pig, but also I can keep it pretty.
Question for Dricus. I believe you said in an interview this week that I need to be perfect to beat this man on Saturday or Sunday morning. In your mind, is that like a show of respect for Israel's skill set, or just what you feel you need to execute in order to win this? And what does a perfect fight look like for you?
At the end of the day, my man, it's a 100% a sign of respect in the sense that this man in the octagon, he was there for a reason. So I need to be perfect for this fight, like I have been for every other fight. Perfect for that fight, to be able to win that fight, and that's why I'm unbeaten in the UFC, and that's going to stay that way, because I have the perfect preparation for this fight.
For Israel, going off that, him saying he needs to be perfect. You've fought over 110 combat sports bouts. You know it doesn't always go perfect in there. So do you take that as a sign of respect? And do you feel like he needs to be perfect to beat you?
Yeah, I'll take it as a sign of he respects what I've done in this game. He respects that I've paved the way for him. And yeah, I guess if he wants to have to be perfect, if he feels that way, sure. But man, it's hard to do that against me.
Back to you, Dricus. You closed your media day yesterday with a message to Israel about the social media stuff. Is there anything you want to say to him about that now?
Yeah, the photo he got, I'm assuming it came from his For You page, because it was me as a teenager. So searching naked teen boys, if that's on your search engine, man, you need to check that shit out.
Hey, that wasn't me. That was Mike. Somebody's mad. It must have been cold that morning. Don't worry about it.
The authorities that should be worried, not me, man.
How much extra motivation has it added for you being in enemy territory, and with the Springboks here as well, to possibly do a double Saturday night and Sunday?
Well, I think I heard the whole thing, but let me tell you this, extra motivation, didn't need extra motivation to do this. I have the same motivation that I had when I won that belt, same motivation I had when I had my debut, and the same motivation right now as a champion. At the end of the day, I don't come in here as somebody who needs to change anything because I have the belt. No, I'm not going to defend my belt. I'm going to keep on fighting like I never had that belt. Because once I walk in there, that belt is given to an official. It's there. It's nobody's belt. The belt is given to the winner at the end of that fight. So for that time while the fight's happening, that's nobody's belt. And I'm willing to die and take a life for this belt.
Israel, after you lost the title to Alex Pereira at the end of 2022, you returned with one of the most impressive performances in UFC history. What will people say on Sunday after UFC 305?
This is new. This is new. This is new for me. I just want to show you guys how great I am. And he said himself, like, he has the belt to prove that he's great. I was great without the belt. I was great before the belt, and I'll be great after the belt. I'm Israel Adesanya, and I'll remind you guys that I'm the last style bender.
Do you need any external motivators for something like this, or is this another day in the office?
Shout out to Ned, one of the greatest Australians to ever live. I don't really need any extra motivation. For me, this whole time away was good for me to soul search, find myself, and realize that I'm still new at this and I can still get this done. But yeah, I don't need any extra motivation. He's my motivation. Fuck the belt. I'm coming for your head.
Thanks, boys.
For Adesanya, Teddy here from KO Sports. With every iconic victory, you've given us a celebration, something to celebrate. Now, if it's a given victory, do we see a Happy Gilmore style celebration?
Oh, golf? Nah. I don't really know what's gonna happen after the fight, but all I know is I'm gonna fight for the fight of my life this time. The last fight, I'm embarrassed, even myself, because I'm an artist. I like to show off. That last fight wasn't really me. I was the most, and still am the most active champion in UFC history. 5 fights in 16 months. Fuck the fights, the camps. Training with Dan Hooker, training with Carlos Ulberg, beating me up every day. It's hard. So now I've taken my time to do everything right, and yeah, I'm gonna focus on the fight. Whatever I do afterwards, we'll see.
First question for Dricus. I don't know if you've seen over the past 24 hours, initially Izzy was the favorite heading to this fight, but as we've gotten closer, those odds have shortened. What do you think about that? What might you attribute that to?
Well, there's no place for odds in an octagon, I have to say that. But, I mean, obviously the odd makers are seeing what I know and seeing what the people are seeing. I mean, it's pretty evident. Like I said, the man needs to be motivated to be back here. He had a, emotional fuel to be back here. He said it. He's motivated by me. That's what gets him back in here. I'm motivated by greatness. I'm not motivated by some person. If he doesn't step in, I'll be the same motivated fighter that steps in there. And anybody can see this. Once again, it's about how bad do you want it. It's pretty evident how bad I want this. And on Sunday morning, there will be no doubt of how bad I wanted this.
And to Izzy, do you have a response?
When did I become the underdog?
You know, it's a pick'em. It's very...
Nobody said anything about dogs, bro. Chill out.
I said that... Better shut the fuck up before I go get my coach's taser as well. Fucking tase your balls. When did I become the underdog?
You're not the underdog.
Okay, wait, what does this mean? How do I make money off myself?
I mean, you bet on yourself like you always have, right?
Yeah, have to.
Yeah.
Wait, I remember you.
I do apologize, I will say. I missed the question.
It's all good, no worries. Any questions?
I really appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
This question for Izzy. Culturally, this has been made about culture. We didn't really want to make it about culture, but, someone made it about culture.
Amen.
So here we are. The question for you is, I grew up, my parents were in Nigeria. They obviously moved to a country as well to better themselves. When you win the belt again, do you plan on taking it back to Africa again?
On Tuesday, I'm going back to Nigeria. I think Friday, I'm going to South Africa. And then the next week, I'm going back to New Zealand. I am a child of the earth. I'm a child of the earth, and when I take this bet, I'm taking it everywhere with me.
Are you taking the servants with you when you're going back? Are you taking the servants with you if you're going back?
What the fuck are you even on about?
My God. It's obviously a see and tell. We can see that. What do you mean? You're saying that I made it about
shut the fuck
culture?
up. You don't even know anything about my story. You have no idea who the fuck I am.
I don't care about your story. I don't care about your story.
Listen, my father and myself had to wake up at 4 a.m. and clean the banks while my mom studies to be a nurse. You don't know my fucking story. Don't fucking speak of my story if you don't know my story.
I don't care.
I will show you who you are Sunday. So right now, shut the fuck up.
I can't wait.
Bye, Leslie. You see.
You're talking about I made it about anything else.
You did.
Being
You
the
did.
first
You couldn't even respect
African
the people
champ.
of the land.
I am the
Fucking
first.
the country. You were the one not even doing anything. I took my shoes off to connect with the people, with the mob. What did you do? You stand there and try to mean mug me. Are you stupid?
My man.
I'm not your fucking man, bitch.
This is my land.
Oh, shit. Just not that. You're going to do what I did? Take as the first residing African. That was exactly
silly.
it. You
sound
never
like a
change
fucking
that.
pig.
You can't change
I
that.
will slay you,
Impossible.
porky pig. Shut up, pink fit.
You can't change the facts, but you can't change those facts.
How's the energy from Dricus today and into the build-up? How's it matched to what you manifested and imagined leading into this? And what are you feeling right now from the energy in the room?
He touched the subject there because I do this for my family. I do this for the people I love, and I'll fight for you forever. I swear to God. Watch this. Look, I'm a fucking human being. I am a man. I can cry and whoop your ass at the same time. I feel the love from the crowd. First time I fought here, 2-2-1. That was February 2018. That was me making my dream come true. Sunday, I'm gonna fucking kill your dreams, bitch. I wanna fucking kill your dreams.
What a note to end things here at the press conference. Perth, no crowd quite like you. Ceremonial weigh-in tomorrow at 11. We're going to clear the stage and square off these athletes. Stay with us.